Line 313, hold short runway 3 on Bravo.
Hold short at 3 on Bravo, Hawaiian 313.
All right, here we go. Just coming up to now Willy Willy Harbor here where the biggest boats come in. Like some of the barges, and like the past 2 days we had the Inter-Island cruise ship into port, so you might have seen it there.
How you doing, Lisa? You okay?
You can see Huleia River in the corner of the harbor. That's the same river that was used by Indiana Jones to fly away from the guys chasing him in the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. Yeah, more than 100 movies and TV shows have been filmed on island. We'll see a bunch of those spots today.
Thursday flight,
Flying Columbus, yeah.
61.
Beautiful ridge area called Haupu Ridge, meaning happy memories in Hawaiian. Neat area most people don't get to see for a couple of reasons. The helicopters fly a shorter route west of the airport, so they don't see this side, and it's all private property.
So no diving spot.
What's that?
It's a diving spot?
Well, not so commonly. Sometimes in the winter time when the boats can't go to the north side because it's too rough, then they'll boat down here and may take you snorkeling, but not too common, I would say, overall. Plenty of reefs. As you can see, this bigger beach called Kipukai, that's where they landed the airplane in the movie 6 Days, 7 Nights. Yeah, and then the second Jurassic Park, a little girl found some small dinosaurs on that beach right in the beginning of the movie.
I think this is superior to the helicopter already, I can tell.
Oh, wow, cool.
This is much better.
Most people who do both tell me they prefer the airplane. So, more relaxing, a little more slow moving, kind of see everything. Lovely beaches, this L-shaped one below called Mahalabu Beach. Really nice view from the corner of the beach especially. The easiest way to go there, you can park ahead where the red dirt is, called CJM Stables. Take a short walk to the beach if you like, and even explore that cave in the trees. The end of the beach called the Makauwahi Cave. That's where they filmed the Fountain of Youth scene in the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Down to the sunny South Shore, you can see Shipwreck Beach here with the big green-roofed Grand Hyatt Resort behind it. That one's Kauai's biggest resort. A beautiful beach, pretty rough water though. More recommended for surfing than for swimming.
Watercolor is amazing.
Right, so many shades of blue. Usually appreciate the clarity too. Scope on all the reefs there. Yeah, this is the Poipu Beach Park. So 3 beaches in the park. You guys staying down here, Jim?
No, we're staying at Leinani.
Okay.
Just at Wailea and Kauai.
Sure. Cool. That beach, it looks like it has the little island off of it we just passed. That's called Poipu or Waiahai. It tends to be great for swimming and snorkeling and for wildlife. Definitely a favorite beach among the monk seals and sea turtles.
Is that Okaloa town?
That is. Yeah, that's where I live currently.
Pretty close.
Yeah, we like it. Of course.
How many golf courses does Kauai have?
Yeah, we have 8 golf courses.
Wow.
I like golf, so I appreciate that. But this is the private course on the South Shore. Your first year membership, about $120,000.
Ooh.
But, I have a good friend who works there, so on occasion we get to play for $36. So definitely more my style.
That is what golf in Germany usually costs.
The 36 or the expensive
No,
one?
the expensive.
Oh, really? Oh, my
Golf in
goodness.
Germany is a super exclusive hobby.
Wow, okay.
So you play golf. We say, do you still have sex or do you already play golf?
There you go. Well, thankfully out here it's generally not so frightening. Certainly some of the courses are, but...
I saw you in my dream. We were walking.
This coffee.
This is, yeah, the Kauai Coffee Company.
Sandy Beach.
Not as world famous as Kona Coffee from over on the Big Island. Kona Coffee, of course, refers to a region rather than one type, but that makes Kona a bunch of smaller farms, really.
On a white.
This farm here made up of 4 million coffee trees, 3,100 acres of land.
The sound.
Each coffee tree produces roughly 1 pound of coffee per year. So that's Kauai's largest export.
Of the ocean rocks me all night long. Those hot summer day,
Wingspan on a hologram.
lying there in the sun.
But again, you get above the coffee and appreciate its size. Goes out our right a bit, but way out to our left side, all the way to that bay called Port Allen, where most of the boat tours leave from.
The ocean,
Pepe Bravo, Pepe Valley.
And then along this curve in the road before you get to the bay, that's where you'd find the visitor center for the coffee. Go take a free tour.
rocks me on.
Get some free samples there.
Oh, last night in my dreams, I saw your face
On Victoria, this golf course on the hillside to our right, that one you can play as many times as you like in one day for $15.
Oh, okay.
So that would probably be Kauai's cheapest option, but as you can see, it's just irrigated by the rain, so very, very hard and dry this time of the year, like a pool table. Just crossing the main highway now. And if you've driven around the island, you know it kind of makes a big letter C shape. No roads across the Poly coast, and really no paved roads to the middle of the island. In fact, about 82% of Kauai is still uninhabited today.
Still going. Still going. Wow. There's probably some smoldering logs underneath there, so they just dropped it down wherever they down. Oh yeah, that was weird. I circled that thing thinking, what the hell is going on? It's all Robinson Orville out there trying to help out.
Very green as we go inland. The island gets progressively rainy towards the middle. The mountain in the center called Waialeale, meaning rippling, overflowing waters in Hawaiian.
I don't know. Come
And often called the rainiest place on Earth, so almost always in the clouds. Averages almost 500 inches of rain. Again, back in 2018, it got more than 700 inches.
There's a helicopter getting water out of this pond below us.
Yeah, they were just talking about a little fire somewhere nearby. I saw it earlier, but I already forgot where it was, so monitoring it.
That was really neat to watch that from above.
Oh yeah, cool. We're about to fly west over top of the Hanapepe Valley here. This entire valley is private property, belonging to the Robinson family. This one family owns 20% of the whole island. Made their fortune in the sugarcane industry. Nowadays keep this upslope land very natural. Yeah, and thus these waterfalls you'll see in a moment are only visible by air. Real big one we'll see back down to the right by the river, the 400-foot tall Manavaiopuna Falls. Yeah, this one's more famously called the Jurassic Falls, where they landed the helicopter in the first Jurassic Park movie. can't get to those ones really. You can't hike up there because it's private land. And you can't quite see them from any lookout along a road either. I'll point out some others you could potentially access or see otherwise. Back down to our right wall behind us, you can see the big rainbow there. And to get some awesome ones from the area, often full circle rainbows. This big valley called the Olokele Canyon. All of Olokele is still private land belonging to that Robinson family. Yeah, so it's starting to look like Waimea Canyon. We're just still not there technically.
Is that the same family that owns Neato?
It is, yeah. The Forbidden Island, we'll see that a bit later here. It's kind of behind the clouds now. Yeah, pretty evident why there are no roads to the middle. Such tough terrain. Then up on top of the island to the right out flattens out. The big plateau, because of the rain, makes it largely a swamp. On top of the island, the highest elevation swamp on Earth called Alakai Swamp. Really neat, home to some of the rarest plants and rarest birds on Earth. We have 8 varieties of forest birds up there that are found only in Hawaii. And 6 of those 8 types are only found on top of this island. So really cool. I love to hike out there and take pictures of them.
Have our own personal rainbow following us.
Just tagging along here. Leaving behind the private land, back to state or public land, entering Waimea Canyon, nicknamed the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Yeah, and you can think of the canyon like it's 4 major valleys. This first narrow one below called Waialae. You see Waialae Falls in the back.
Wow. There's 4 levels of waterfall.
Right, it's kind of more and more. Spectacular views all around. In some areas, the canyon's about 3,700 feet deep.
On a tragic event that happened in the olden days.
So many colors, all those kind of horizontal lines in the rock, individual lava flows that stacked up on each other long ago when Kauai was an erupting volcano, but long been an extinct volcano now.
These people.
Little rain showers here. Of course, it's the dry season, so you definitely use some rain on this side. reports of visiting Kauai, driving that road to the canyon straight ahead of us. Paved all the way, lots of lookouts, beautiful hiking trails. You guys heading up there this trip, Jane or
Yes.
Jim? You are going up there? Cool. Victoria, did you guys make the drive yet up the canyon?
No, we only arrived yesterday.
Oh wow, very cool. Well, yeah, I'd recommend it. Obviously, you don't really beat the aerial view, but the more angles, the better, for sure. Yeah, and then from a couple of those lookouts, you can see across the valley the big set of waterfalls in this corner. On our right, the 800-foot tall Waipo'o Falls. Yeah, and that one has quite a popular hiking trail to the top. We'll do a little turn in front of it. You'll likely see some people out on that red ridge.
Yeah.
And even 2 weeks ago, this one was almost completely dried up. So nice to see it charged up a bit here.
Oh yeah, there are some people out there, I think. Yeah, I can see them.
Oh yeah. That goes up the canyon, kind of parallels our flight path up to the left through the forest. So we'll actually get to see where the road ends, which is kind of lucky because it's very regularly inland bounds. Before we get there, if you look straight down in the back of this valley, you'll see a few more waterfalls on both sides of the airplane. One called Mohihi Falls coming up on the right here. Falls back down on the left. Just all this constant drainage out of that swamp area. Continue towards the ocean right past the final lookout. And you'll see Pihea Trail right on this rim below us in a moment. But past the lookout, a 4,000-foot drop over Kalalau Valley, giving way to the entirety of the famous Nepali coast.
Oh, wow.
I never noticed that before when we were on the lookout.
4 of them, right? 5. 1, 2, 5.
Gorgeous Nepali, simply meaning the cliffs in Hawaiian.
14 upper mic.
Carved out for many years, visible by air, by boat, or lots of hiking trails. These sharp spikes in the rock are nicknamed the cathedrals. Spectacular, where they come to their very top point, just below that cloud. You can hike out there and look down upon that. One of my favorites called Kalepa Ridge, but you can do that same style trail, you know, ridge hike with the next 3 ahead of us. Kind of an adventurer's paradise out here. Several beaches on the coast. This one we're passing by here that looks like 2 beaches that's connected via a tunnel in the rock down by the little waterfall called Honopu Beach. The only legal way for you to visit Honopu is by swimming, as that one's a sacred or a holy site, and the ancient Hawaiians would bury their royalty in the cliffs behind the beach, and thus you can't even land a kayak or a surfboard on it. Down on this end with the big reef off of it. That's called Nuololo Kai. Where a lot of the morning boat tours stop for their snorkeling. You can actually see someone, or a boat rather, snorkeling down there now, but some of the tours dock and then have you walk a little trail. Goes through the remnants of an ancient fishing village. Always living off Nuololo Kai. Got you there, Chrissy. We're turning back north. The sacred Honopu Beach. See more of that tunnel in the rock by the waterfall. A couple small boats offshore. I think that one on the right is just a local boat that drops some people off. So there's like a beach towel or something on the beach when you pass the first time. Sometimes the people are a little bit harder to see. there's somebody in the left section of it, even just walking around. A couple of years ago, we got dropped off there by a friend with a fishing boat. It was pretty much the coolest day ever. It was really spectacular. Got to swim around the corner to this next one called Kauai Beach. That's the end of the famous Kauai Trail. It is more than 11 miles each way up the coast ahead, often ranked in the top 10 most dangerous hikes on Earth. So sometimes people will hike in there, and if it's calm enough, they'll swim around to Honopu and back. So we just did it the opposite way there. But usually see some people on that beach with the right permit. You can go there and then camp up to 5 nights. You can see parts of the trail. Look at the very bottom of the coast, that thin red line.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you even see people out there. What do you think? You up for it, Jim? Not much to that one.
Not even in my good days.
Oh, man. My wife and I used to hike about every other week before kids, so done most of the trails. That one, never did the whole thing just because that's so long with the camping and everything. Wasn't really up for that. Perhaps see more of the sea caves in this area. Really caves all along the Pali, but biggest ones in this area. A few of them several hundred feet long. Those small boat tours like to zip in and out of the caves. A lot of fun. At the mouth of the valley here sits Kauai Beach. That's the first 2-mile mark of the big Kauai Trail. Very popular since you don't need the hiking permit to go in that far. You still need the parking reservation, which is the real obstacle, but popular for people to hike 2 miles to the beach and then 2 more miles up the river to the 300-foot tall Kauai Falls way up in the back.
Okay, this one's for Gabby.
Okay, so we're flying over them. Did you show me the Queen's Hole near Princeville?
Queen's Bath, you mean?
Yeah, Queen's Bath.
Yeah, that's still a few miles ahead, but this is Kauai Beach where the road ends, yeah. So that's what I mentioned, you need the reservation. The parking reservation, you gotta book a month in advance. Yeah, and then there's a shuttle out of Honolulu. Bit easier to get typically, but still gotta plan a week or 2 out, usually. Going zone approaching tunnels 1.7, got Island up high.
I got you back, Mark. Alright, thanks.
Dream of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, blue.
approaching Tunnels Beach, that enormous reef off of it, often known for great snorkeling and diving. You see a few boat tours there. Those are the tours that leave from the North Shore head, and they'll sail up kind of opposite direction back behind us to the Pauly coast.
Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you did.
The North Shore, kind of the epic green side, almost feels prehistoric. It's the rainy side, so it stays very green like this all year long. That jungle feeling to it. But we're actually in the middle of dry season, so I did see a brush fire early on. Mentioned Jim, that guy filling up the water tank in the helicopter, but yeah, kind of towards the end of summer we always have some smaller brush fires on the west side, especially sometimes the south shore, but almost never up here.
Of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of
right on the center of the North Shore, the Hanalei Bay. Many colors, always beautiful beaches, Hanalei town on the inland side. And one of my favorite beaches by this pier, very protected water, nice sandy bottoms after about kicking the reef or something, and amazing views of those mountains.
Much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star.
Town of Princeville here, on the quieter resort community. You see that narrow beach called Hideaways down below us. And then Victoria, you guys went to Queen's Bath, you said?
No, we're planning to.
Okay. So there's several tide pools here down in the rocks. You see the golf course that goes out to the cliff. Just left of that, there's a brown roofed house right on the edge of the cliff, and straight down below that, yeah, you can see quite a crowd of people there by that greener pond. That is Queen's Bath.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, fun to visit this time of the year, you know, the best time because it's so calm up here. Not a good idea in the winter with the big swells, but it's named Queen's Bath because Queen Emma from the Big Island used to like to go swim there in the 1800s. Princeville's named after her son, Albert Kamehameha. One of their visits, it was named Princeville even though it was just a coffee farm at that time. It eventually became a sugar plantation and cattle ranch. Yeah, not a town like this until 1968, so definitely on the newer side by comparison to other Kauai towns. East end of Princeville here sits Anini Beach, and Anini is 2 miles long, pretty narrow beach, but it has this enormous reef off of it, which is the real highlight because it keeps it so calm, often feels more like a lake. Yeah, it can be fun snorkeling too, especially along the big cracks or channels in the reef, because wherever there's a drop off, it's where you especially tend to find more sea turtles, among other things. Appreciated scale from the air once more. It goes underneath us, well out to our left side. And I'll pick your spot, and then further out to the left on the point, that's where the Kilauea Lighthouse sits. northernmost point in the main Hawaiian Islands, and that's where it's a bird sanctuary rather now for all the seabirds to nest.
We were there this morning.
Oh yeah. Was it open, or did you just kind of go out to the
No, you
edge
have
of
to make
the-
a reservation,
Sure.
but not a lot of parking, but it's good.
Okay, cool.
Principal area traffic, citation 53 Delta Delta, just passing Kauai Lighthouse. We're on 1700 west for
That's the famous bridge there below us, Lisa.
Okay, straight through.
Yeah.
The taro fields. Yeah, coming down that hill, making the turn.
That's right. The huge taro operation, about 60% of the entire state of Hawaii's taro grown in this one area. Agriculture, the number 2 source of revenue for the island, certainly behind the tourism. Our friend the Rainbow's just sticking along with us a little bit longer on the left side here. Heading up the Hanalei River Valley. It goes right up the center of the island. All state land, so in theory open to the public. There are just no roads through it. Only one very long, overgrown trail up along these power lines ahead, so I don't get a lot of foot traffic. However, as we fly the valley, keep an eye out in these lower parts especially. Tend to see quite a few more waterfalls. Many of those smaller ones down low never dry up either. All right, thanks. So very lush and green. I think about every color green imaginable. You can see why it's called the Garden Island. But bright lime green right up the cliffs. It looks like grass or moss. Most of those are thousands of ferns.
Wow.
Yeah, many types of ferns are native, but the majority of plant life in the Hawaiian Islands today is not native, including most of the famous stuff. Kind of humorous, but like our famous pineapples brought here from South America, macadamia nuts from Australia, and things like the taro, breadfruit, and coconuts brought with early Polynesians. Likely came here from the Marquesas Islands, 2,500 miles southeast of here. By many estimates, around 1,200 years ago.
Pilots from Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly right. Right up near the heart of the island. Waialeale just kind of next to us ahead. As I mentioned before, one of the rainiest places on Earth. As should expect some little showers, a few more waterfalls there too. Just beyond this next ridge, you get a view into the near vertical rock walls of what's called Waialeale Crater. These walls climb straight up more than 5,000 feet high and eventually reach the top, called Kauai, 5,243 feet high.
Where is my love? Come all I need. Please answer me. Come all I need. Pukaninui, pukaninui. Oh, here I am. Come all I need. Here in this paradise, come on and
Is that the backside of Sleeping Giant?
That is absolutely right. So, I headed out towards the east side now.
of heaven.
Temperature 221 out.
Here in this
Lots more of those super flat top trees below, kind of look like broccoli. From there, those are called albizia trees, brought here from South Africa
come on
in the early 1900s for erosion purposes. Nice to look at, but extremely invasive.
Kauai Tower, information,
you
Mike.
can
They're known as the world's fastest growing tree, so they can grow up to an inch per day. Wow. Yeah, and that makes them very weak and brittle, so they're known to snap off and cause lots of damage. So some areas that I'll cut them down and burn them for electricity.
you'll be together again. Come on, come on. You hear the sound of his voice here in this paradise.
Louis Tower, Wings 11, approaching Lakes Falls, Mike. Early in the Falls, Wings 11.
When nights are still, come on in. You can hear the voice of Pukaninui.
The east shore of the island ahead, almost all beaches. Kauai has the most beach per area of all the islands, right around 50% of the whole shoreline natural beach.
We'll be together.
One way to see the east side ones, you can rent bicycles out there. Just an easy paved ride right by the ocean.
That's where we're staying out there. Lonnie
Oh yeah, just not too far from the river mouth. Cool.
You hear the sound of his voice.
Chieftain 674, Louis Tower, turn right on course, runway 3, clear for takeoff.
Right on course, runway 3, push takeoff, 614.
Come on.
sleeping giant to our left. Of course, a few hiking trails go up that one. You can literally stand on the tallest point of it. Very cool view, just over 1,200 feet high.
That's affirmative to Air 1.
Air 1 depart, base power on risk, westbound departure, approach.
Air 1's on the go.
Air 1, you can be southwest or to the south.
We'll be southwest.
Copy that.
And then one final set of waterfalls here, and down to the right by those white sheds in the field, one you can drive to.
Island 7.
10 to 15 minutes from the airport, the 183-foot Wailua Falls.
You have the Air 1 lifting in front of the tower, west side of the tower.
Despite the no hiking signs, there is a very well-traveled trail to the bottom. Just have to find it around the fence and look for some ropes to the bottom. Usually see people swimming down there.
Yeah, so we'll take a little bit north and then pass behind the island.
Copy that. Remain west of 3 against Houston Airport departure.
We'll go Air 1.
Sunshine 14, Louis Tower, flight transport settle. Houston 674, contact ATS Center, safe flight.
Contact Center 674.
Low Star, good afternoon, Hawaiian Tree 49, we're on the VOR, Tree 5.
Flying 349, Louis Tower, runway 35, clear to land.
Tree 5, clear to land, Hawaiian Tree 49.
Wings 11 leaving the falls.
Wings 11, Louis Tower, for left base, runway 3.
For left base, wings 11.
Houston 227 Alpha Kilo, Louis Tower, flight heading 060, runway 3, clear for takeoff.
Flight heading 060 and runway 3, clear for takeoff at Alpha Kilo.
Coming back to Lihue ahead, the second largest city on island by population.
And Air 1, you got
Head to the north, a little bit larger.
700 coming in for left base.
Whole island, 72,000 residents. And then on a normal year, we'll see 1.2 million visitors, making Kauai the fourth most visited of the islands. By that measure, it goes Oahu, Maui, Big Island, and Kauai. Slowly making our way back to land. Make sure you got those seatbelts fastened one more time. Wings 11, left base for 3.
Wings 11, runway 3, clear to land.
Clear land runway 3, wings 11.
Houston 7 Alpha Kilo, heading 060, contact ATS Center, safe flight.
Heading 060 and contact ATS Center, Houston 7 Alpha Kilo, good day.
Yeah, Tower Air 1 is clear west.
Air 1, 32, 3, safe flight, keep it.
Air 1, come on.
Take Delta Monoground, wings 11.